Another Fort Pierce family finally getting answers from their insurance company after a months-long struggle. Mike Newsom and his daughter live right next to the Spanish Lakes Country Club community where an EF3 tornado killed 6 people on October 9th.
That same twister directly hit the Newsoms' home, yet their insurance company told the family they were nearly half a mile away from tornado damage, triggering a back and forth, a battle, all while being denied any housing assistance from FEMA. They went to investigative reporter Kate Hussey for help on this. She started pressing for answers to advocate for a family with really nowhere else to turn.
Kate is joining us live right now from Fort Pierce with this story. Kate?
Yeah, Megan, it's officially been 6 months since that tornado hit Mike Newsom's home here behind me. But while other neighbors here in Eastwood Drive have begun to bulldoze or even rebuild, you can see his house has stayed stagnant. So he came to us for help.
So
boarded up.
Now I've gotten numb to it.
Tarped over. Mike Newsom.
Well, talking about it makes me a little emotional.
Looks at his home.
Certainly when I came back here the next day and saw it. All right, I'm gonna have to stop for a second.
Now in shambles.
It really made me emotional because this is where my daughter came when she was born. It's the only house she knows. That's the only home she knows. So,
That home took a beating October 9th when an EF3 tornado with 155-mile-per-hour winds ripped through Newsom's neighborhood while he and his daughter huddled frantically inside.
vegetation and trees just started flying through the house. I watched the pool enclosure and the fence just fly away. I think we both have a little PTSD from it.
These are photos of Newsom's home directly after. His roof in pieces, electrical wires open and exposed.
So even though the house is tarped, every time it rains, most everything electrical that we were able to take out of the house is ruined.
His pool enclosure twisted and mangled, walls wrenched away from their foundation.
Yeah, just broken through here and it's pulled loose. Columns are shifted. The trusses are obviously displaced in here. They're broken up in there.
Newsom immediately filed a claim with his insurance company, Orange Insurance Exchange. And he says 2 days later, they sent an adjuster.
Their adjuster walked through the house and said his opinion was the house was a total loss, that he saw some separation in the walls, but he needed to contact the insurance company. They may want to send an engineer out.
Documents show the company did just that. An engineer inspected Newsom's home October 29th and issued his report of findings about a month later. The report noted damage to his roof panels and trusses, pool enclosure, fence, garage door, porch pillars, and ceiling. Yet the report stated the subject property was 0.4 miles southwest of the reported tornado path. National Weather Service reports put Newsom's home directly in the twister's track.
I was absolutely taken back. At that point, I felt like I had done everything I could do properly to allow the insurance company to take the steps that they needed to take. It was like a slap in the face.
This letter from the claims administrator for Orange Insurance Exchange notes their inspection did find extensive damage to the exterior and interior of Newsom's home, but show his insurance company offered him an original payout of just over $150,000. Is that going to even remotely cover what you need to rebuild?
No, absolutely not.
Newsom hired a private adjuster who documented over $380,000 worth of damage. When his adjuster submitted that documentation to his insurance company, emails show the company upped the offer by $40,000, but it's still about half of what he needs to rebuild.
So in the meantime, I'm renting a house for myself and my daughter, paying 2.5 times what my mortgage is to have a roof over our head.
Newsom then applied for FEMA housing assistance to help pay the $2,700 a month he's shelling out for a rental, but received this letter back from FEMA stating he's not eligible for housing assistance because the damage caused by the disaster did not make his home unsafe to live in. Days after the storm, St. Lucie County officials red tagged his home as unlivable, and even the engineer hired by Orange Insurance Exchange found the house not safe to live in his report of findings.
So I've reached out to FEMA over the course of the last month and a half trying to get a copy of their inspector's report on my home. Initially, they told me I had to fill out an authorization to authorize myself to receive that inspection.
Newsom filled out that authorization and sent it in February 11. But FEMA sent him back this package in the mail. It's addressed to Newsom, but it's not his file.
This is a gentleman from the west coast of Florida's inspection, and it is this entire gentleman's file. His social security number, his telephone number, his addresses.
Newsom says when he called FEMA and told them they gave him the wrong file, the agency apologized and offered to send him the correct information. But still, he has to wonder.
If I've got somebody else's information, where is my information?
And all the while, any housing assistance he could get approved for is further delayed. Newsom doesn't have the money he needs to rebuild nor financial help to continue renting. And hurricane season is just 2 months away.
Lost, frustrated, at times very aggravated. So I had read an article that you had written about another family in Fort Pierce that seems to be going through the exact same things that I'm going through. When I read that article, I got hope, honestly, and I sent you an email and reached out hoping that maybe, but the results you were able to get for them, we can get something similar.
I received Newsom's email and immediately started pressing for answers. I reached out to Orange Insurance Exchange and its claims administrator, Harbor Claims. A day later, I received a call from Harbor Claims telling me they were looking into his situation. And Newsom received this email from the company's field adjuster offering to up his payment by $50,000 instead of $40,000. But that brings his payout to $200,000, still $180,000 short of what his adjuster says he'll need to rebuild the home he raised his daughter in.
Just to see that hurts. Everybody's peace is home. I don't have it right now.
So I kept pushing, calling the company again.
Hi, this is Kate with WPTV.
A company representative told me it's their protocol to reimburse policyholders after they rebuild, but told me they are addressing the inaccuracy of Newsom's distance to tornado damage. Days later, Newsom received this email from the vice president of Harbor Claims. In it, he asked Newsom to send over his contractor's bid and told him the company, quote, should be able to resolve any outstanding items on his claim. The executive also wrote he would personally work with Newsom's field adjuster to ensure his claim receives expedited handling. I also reached out to FEMA, who told me they weren't able to discuss Newsom's specific case due to privacy laws, but told me they forwarded his information onto their case management team. Soon after, Newsom got a call from FEMA, who told him they'll reevaluate his housing assistance status.
Where it'll go, who knows, but it's hopeful. It's hope. It's something.
And for now, he'll take it. It's just a start, but it's a start towards gluing the fragments of his house back into the framework of his home.
Never thought it would have to go this far. And again, I can't thank you guys enough for doing this.
Newsom does have still a long road to recovery ahead of him. He has hired a general contractor who says he'll probably have to bulldoze his house entirely, but he is getting an itemized quote for that per his insurance company's request so that they can reimburse him. We will be following up with both the insurance company and FEMA to follow Newsom's story through. We're live tonight from Fort Pierce. I'm Kate Hussey, WPTV News.